evening. So we have got a live evening with Blue Hors Viconte. We're just waiting for everyone to join us. We're just going to spend 5 minutes in the stable with him and wait. Oh, he lives next to a mare, and this is what he prefers. This is what they said this is what they said at Blue Hors Viconte. And this is Dolly. This is his wife. She's a little bit younger than him, but we're just waiting for everyone to join in. Hey, good boy. Says hello. Very excited this evening to showcase him to you. We're incredibly privileged to have him in the stables, and I think he's a real asset for British breeding this year. So, yeah, really excited this evening to show him off to you. He's got some great clips coming up, and and we're looking forward to showing you. Come here, have a carrot. I think everyone's joining in. Good boy. Loves carrots. He's not a fan of mince yet. I think they possibly don't feed them mince in Denmark. I've tried, but we're just on the carrot, apples, and a few grass nuts phase at the moment. But I am trying to get them in. Good boy. Good boy. Hey, he's been a great horse. We've had him since we picked him up later on last year, and he's been a real pleasure to get to know. Good boy. Ready? Good boy. Show everyone how beautiful you are. Yes, come into the camera. It's a beautiful, beautiful horse. Beautiful stallion. And he's lovely in the stable as well. He's really lovely to spend time with. Aren't you? Yes. Good boy. Good boy. I think we're just waiting. Yeah, we've got a few more people joining in. So that's really good. We can all have a nice evening with him. I hope everybody sat down with a nice glass of Prosecco or champagne or just something to get you going for the evening. I think Martin from Blue Hors is joining us this evening as well, which is really, really good for everyone, for us to have that insight to what he's produced and you know, he knows so much about the Blue Hors Stallions and yeah, we're very lucky to have Martin from Blue Hors and Lorna from Elite Dressage to talk about him and Anna, who's been really helping me with the training with him. So it'd be really nice to have a good old chat with you all about him. And yeah, you can all get to know everyone, can't you? Yeah, you're a good boy. Hey, do you want another carrot? Yes. Good boy.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Glug and Gaze. Cheers. We carried out a sip and see, which was a champagne afternoon where we presented Viconte to the people who could come down to Devon and see him. So we thought it was a great idea to do something online to present Viconte to those of you that live very, very far away. So we hope that you also have your glass of champagne and you can sip it whilst watching Viconte and hear a little bit about him and what he'll be doing this season and his, you know, some things about him. So, yeah.
So it's really fun to be across so many different platforms. So welcome to everybody, whichever platform you're watching us on this evening. You know, our intrepid crew from Equidance have set us up all across the internet. So that's welcome everybody from everywhere. And it's just really fun to have you join us. We are always trying to think of new ways to bring us all together. And that's why it's really fun also to be able to bring in Martin from Blue Hors, who is here with us this evening. Hey, Martin.
Hello.
Hey, Martin. So Martin Klavsen is the breeding manager at Blue Hors and knows Viconte inside and out. So we thought it was a great opportunity to bring him in and he can tell you a little bit more about him. So good evening, Martin.
Good evening to you too.
So I think we're going to show a little video of Viconte now, and Martin can tell us a little bit about him while we watch the video, if that's okay, Martin.
That sounds perfect. So Viconte is a really, really nice stallion. We bought him when he was foal in Germany by Klaus Tucken, and he was also as foal a really, really nice foal. comes out of a really nice dam line, a really famous dam line, exactly the dam line of Poetin, and also the Samba hit stallions, the Samba hit 3, 5, and such on. So really famous stallion. So his mother is full sister to the famous Poetin, and Poetin was sold in the PSI auction for 2.5 million, and also winner of the World Championships as young horse as 6 years old. Viconte is a really, really nice stallion. We had him one season in Germany, one season in Denmark, and I like him a lot. He is really close to me, and I've known him since he's a foal in our barn here at Blue Hors in Denmark. So we know him from he was a little child. So that's really nice.
Yeah, and we're really lucky that he's joined us this season. As Beth said earlier, we picked him up, I think, in the middle of December. So she's had a little bit of time to get to know him, and we'll show you a video of her and her training and how she does everything. So that'll be good.
And I think Viconte is, for me, Beth and I always have a little joke about this, because I think he is one of the most beautiful stallions I have ever seen. And Beth actually gets very angry with me because I go to help her with him. And I think I'm fairly well known for my forthright training methods. But she gets very cross because I say, "Oh, he's just so beautiful." And she's like, "Am I gonna get a 9 then? Is there nothing to improve?" And I'm like, he's so beautiful. And he really does have that superstar quality. He has an amazing sort of chiseled head and a big neck and a fuzzy forelock. And, you know, of course it isn't all about what they look like, because, you know, he has amazing functionality. But I really fell in love with this horse at Blue Hors, and I was so thrilled when we were allowed to have him, because I think he's a huge asset to have in the UK. And for me, it's like looking at a beautiful painting every day.
And I think we have a clip now to show you of him stood up, so you can see his conformation, and we've walked him in hand, so you can see just him moving straight. So obviously not this evening because it's pitch black, but we did it the other day, this week. So we'll show you a clip now of him just walking up, and a little bit about his conformation. So we're really pleased that this year we have Blue Hors Viconte with us. We selected him for a number of reasons. Firstly, his trainability. He scored 9.5 for rideability in his performance test. And he's a beautiful looking horse. A nice short back, very powerful from behind, a nice open shoulder and a big front with short pasterns to maintain, you know, longevity in the sport, and a beautiful face. How could you possibly resist? So we're really excited to have him here, and Beth to train him and ride him this season. And so we're looking forward to seeing him out at some shows and having some fun through this summer. So hopefully there you saw a little bit about, you know, his type. I think no one can disagree that he's one of the most beautiful horses. If anybody wanted a picture on the wall, then he would be one to choose to paint us.
He might go above my bedroom my bed.
Yeah. So Martin, is there anything else in terms of the confirmation and his performance test marks that was highlighted?
His performance test was really good, and I was there in the end, and he was in front of the what you call them, the winner stallions from all the stallion licensing, and the champion stallions. He was in front of a few of them also. So, and I think he was number 3 in the performance test. So it was really good, and that's also what he shows, that he is really really likable. And I also talked with the test rider afterward, and she was really happy to ride it. So I also think you can join that bet that he's really nice to ride.
And Martin, am I right in thinking you've used Viconte on one of your own personal mares?
I get one foal from Viconte this
so
year, so
we really
I'm looking really forward to see one of this. And actually also we get 3 foals from Viconte here at Blue Hors, so that's also we are looking really a lot forward to. And just once more, one famous breeder here in Denmark is called Studeri Uno. She was the breeder of Uno Donna Unique by Don Schufo, and she also used him a lot also for ICSI and also for her own mare at home. So she also have one colt from Viconte, and he's moving really, really good. So she liked the stallions also a lot. So yeah, she was a bit sad that I moved him to England. I'm quite happy about it because I know he is in good hands at your place.
Yeah. But we campaigned very hard for that one. I wanted to see that head over our stable door every morning. I was very pleased about that.
He's the first one in the stables on the left as you go in. He has his breakfast first every morning. We're very happy to see him when we go through the door.
Yeah.
And we've already done 2 embryo flushes this season with Viconte, and both gave us an embryo. So we did one today and we did one a few days ago. So the semen looks incredible, and from 2 mares we already have 2 embryos. So he's doing all the right things.
Yes, he is. And I've put one of my Grand Prix mares. I've put Holly, who some of the breeders will know, my grey mare. I've put her opposite him. I think then, that'll make the magic happen, I think, when we go later.
Her daughter is next to him.
And her
so how's that going to go?
is married to him because she's next doors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, anyway.
But I think we have a video now of Beth just training him a little bit at home and telling you a little bit about the ride. I think as breeders, it's very easy for us to just look at the conformation and understand that, but it's nice to know about what the rider feels and how the training is. So I think we've got a little video from this week, a few days ago, and so we can show that to you now.
Hello, my name is Beth Bainbridge. I am the head rider at Elite Dressage, and I am also the extremely privileged rider of Blue Hors Viconte this season. So at the start for 5 to 10 minutes, I want to start him in a slightly longer frame, stretching. I want him to feel like he's having fun and playing. He's a young horse, he's only 6. There's plenty of time to pick him up into his competition frame, which comes really easily with him because he has a beautiful length of rein, which as a rider is a really positive thing to have. And he's short coupled behind the saddle as well, which makes him really easy to put together and train. He's a super elegant stallion, and I think this really shows in the trot work. He has brilliant ability to change the gear, and the trot has super potential to collect and extend, and it's a really, really nice feeling to ride. To be able to have all those gears available to you as a rider is a really exciting thing. He carries me really well. I feel very grand on him, very posh. He's a horse that I can't wait to take down the centre line. listen to his canter. He got a 9 at the stallion grading for his canter, and I can totally see why. It's uphill, it has so much power, and it is so much fun. His canter feels really adaptable. I can go on, I can bring him back, and it feels really easy to him, which is a really nice feeling when you ride him. I've really enjoyed getting to know him, and he's a really cool guy to have around and ride. He's fitted in really well to our stables, and I don't feel like I need to train him every day. He enjoys hacking in the countryside, and he's met the cows and the sheep. He's got a super temperament to work with, and he's really good to ride outside in this arena with other horses. He's a really lovely horse to have around and to train. Around his stud duties, I have some really exciting plans for him this year, and I'm really looking forward to contesting him in the 6-year-olds at the Premier Leagues, where I think it will be brilliant fun to ride him, but also a fantastic opportunity for the British breeders to come down and meet him in person. I'm really looking forward to this year.
Okay, so hopefully that was a video where you can see his him just working at home, just in a normal way, and hopefully, Martin, you're very happy with how he's going along.
He's looking amazing. You did a nice job. So it was really good to see him again.
Good.
Yeah, you're enjoying riding him, aren't you, Beth?
Oh, I love riding him. He's a brilliant horse. I feel very grand when I walk into the arena on him.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice feeling. He's got that big neck, and he's nice and short behind the saddle, which makes him really easy to put together and ride. And he's got brilliant, like, uphill powerful canter, and the trot, it's really good. There's gears, and I've really getting to know him, and the lateral work is developing all his lateral work, and we've been doing some of the flying changes, and he's a really good boy. He works indoors, outdoors, with other horses, with mares, and I think that's a real testament to his temperament. And also, what's nice is I can hack him. I hack him out with another horse, and he goes past the sheep and the cows like he's been real put into Devon life, which is a real good testament to what a brilliant horse he is. Really, really nice boy. Really nice boy.
I think the thing with him that's very exciting and fun to work with is he has so many gears. They always say, you can't improve the canter so much. A horse is given the canter by the breeding spirits. And he has a wonderful canter, but in the trot, he has so many gears. He has sort of endless gears in the trot. You can bring him all the way back. You can make the trot very big. You can make it small, so you can see that there would be a talent for piaffe and passage in there. We try very hard not to be greedy with him, because it would be very easy to be greedy with him. But, we're determined really to stick with the good principles that we know Blue Hors always stand by. You're not going to see this horse with his head up in the air and his neck this long being propelled around. He's going to be ridden well and for longevity. And that's why, he's good enough. We don't need to we can show you a video of him stretching because he's good enough. We don't need to stick his head up in the air and flash him around. He's good enough as he is. And I'm really super excited to use him on our international mares. Can't wait to see what that brings. I think it's very exciting to see a horse that can use his body all the way up and down the scale. He's not just a big mover, and that's exciting for us as riders to feel the horse has a big future.
And I think certainly from seeing the first few crops of foals, Martin, that's something that he seems to pass on to the foals.
Definitely. We just have seen the first years of offspring. They are now 2 years old, and we have seen them in our riding arena here in the beginning of the year, and they are looking really good. He makes the types, he makes the canter. They have the nice trot that we all are looking for. When you see an offspring, you also want to see the trot. But what I'm thinking is really interesting is that I've seen the canter on them, and that's not what we see often with the offspring. So when they are coming into a new arena, they can be a bit tense and such on because they have never been there inside before. So when we have seen them there, then they are looking really good in the canter, and then they have a really, really nice walk. Actually, much better than his own walk. I think he has a really good and clear walk, but they have a really, really nice walk with overtrack, and that's looking really good.
And I think we have some videos of a few of his foals from when I think just 3 or 4 short clips of foals from Viconte, which we can play now.
Yeah, the first one here is one foal by Viconte Vacant Cairn. It was sold on the Westphalian auction and was sold for 46,500 euros. So it was a really expensive foal. Was sold to a really good stallion station also. So I think we're gonna look at him later on this year. He's a really, really big mover. So this is from our foal evening in Denmark. So that was the first foal present by Viconte, and actually this one I bought. So he's now in our barn. So it's looking really good. This one is from one of our workers here. So it was also a really, really good foals, and also what you can see, all the foals have really, really nice types. So it's looking really good, and that's also what we see in the other foals from Viconte.
And that's partly why we have Verve tonight in celebration of Viconte's foal that sold for 46,500 euros in honour of him. We decided that would be a fundamental part of our evening tonight.
We would never have done it otherwise. Wouldn't have dreamt of it.
And I think you can see from all the foals, he gives them a really, really long legs and really beautiful heads. And I think the neck and shoulder connection is also very nice. It's a very elegant, just exactly the same as him.
I can second that, having sat on him.
Yeah, yes.
And what would your thoughts be on a mare, Martin? What mares do you think he would suit? I think somebody asked a question about
somebody
that
sent in a question that said, what mare would he suit best?
Yeah, I actually think he will suit all mares because he's amazing stallions. Of course, maybe he suits some better, but I think he can suit really different kind of mares. So I have used him on a sack. I have used him on German bloodlines. So I have actually used him on everything because he has such a great performance and looks really good in the body. So I think you can use him on really lots of different mares. So I think he also gives the air under him. So he will make the long legs and elegant and the modern types that we want today in the breeding.
Yeah.
And would you say he refines? Would he make an old-fashioned mare? Would he be good with an old-fashioned mare? Make that more modern in type?
Definitely. That's also what I have seen. We have used him on breeders' mares that maybe be a little bit old-fashioned mares, and that maybe could be a little bit modern and elegant and a bit more in the movements, a bit more front legs. So that's also what Vivaldi is doing in the breeding. So that's I definitely also see him doing in his offsprings.
And I think for us, one of the major questions we have from breeders, and one of their major concerns, is ensuring that good temperament is passed on. And I think, it's the same. Obviously, when we had Zaccarado from you last year, the temperament is key to our breeders, and so. Again, he brings that total trainability and rideability, and I think you've said to me before that that the ones that are now 2 are showing that the similar characteristics in terms of the character are coming through.
Actually, we had one breeder coming and looked one of Viconte's offspring in the barn, and I just told one of my workers to say, "Can you maybe bring that up here?" And that was actually just funny to say because I didn't thought they could do that. But 2 minutes afterward, it was standing in front of me, and I say, "How did you did that?" "Yeah, it's so sweet. I can just go inside, put the head collar on, and then I bring it here." Of course. So we were really a place to do that, and that was actually 2 weeks ago. So that's quite a funny.
I think Viconte.
I also think the offspring have a good temperament, definitely.
Yeah.
Good.
But he is a supremely confident horse, isn't he? He has no worries in the world. He knows he is the best looking guy in the room, doesn't he? And he is very confident in himself, and that makes him very calm and very happy, really, to be put in all situations, But it comes with, he's not an arrogant guy, but he's extremely confident. He's a sexy one.
He's definitely not shy.
No, he's not shy. No.
It was really nice. It was really nice to bring him back from Germany and to spend the time with him with the travelling over the few days, and when we took him to Addington for the Stallion show as well, it's really nice to take them away, and you learn so much from them when you travel them and when you take them. When he was very very trusting of his people and very confident in his situation, and it was. Yeah, it's just lovely.
You were held up, weren't you?
Yes.
So, but on the way back, there was a problem, wasn't there, with the ferry?
Yes.
And then Beth was held up with him, and some horses would have been jumping around the truck or having a problem, and you loved him, didn't you? He was really calm. He was like, "Okay, I'm just going to hang out here for a while," and that could have been a very difficult situation. A young stallion. You're stuck at the ferry port. Yeah.
He didn't know me.
Yeah,
he was
in a new situation, and he was just he just swaggered in.
He stood there. He
hasn't looked back.
He was really very good boy.
So, that leads us on to another question. Somebody sent us a question earlier, which said, "When is he? What's he going to be doing this season in terms of shows?" So, Beth, you can tell us what your plan is, and let's hope the swagger carries on for these dates.
Oh, I think it will. I've got every confidence in him because he's got confidence in him.
Yes. I have confidence in him.
So what's your plans, Beth? Where are you going to go, and when can people come and see you?
If you would like to come and see me, I am going to compete him on the 12th and 13th at Hickstead Premier League. So he sadly won't be available then, but all his stud duties
12th and 13th of which month?
Of May.
Of May.
May, sorry.
So, yeah.
Of May. And then on the 26th and the 28th of May, he will be at Somerford Premier League. And then the actual classes aren't released yet for Wellington, but between the 6th and 11th of June. And then again, somewhere between the
Beth,
4th.
I know you like competing his horse, but he is here for a reason.
I think in total there's 7 days. 7 or 8 days.
Relax, breeders. Don't worry, we'll just drag her off and away from the show. But certainly, Hickstead, we felt a little bit like if we took him to Somerford now, for us, remember, people, that is north. So we're thinking, to take him up the country, and Hickstead Premier League is also combined with the International. So I'm sure that we could have him up there for anybody who wanted to come and see him at Hickstead. You know, he'll be there in the stables, and we're happy to welcome people to come and cheer him on. You know, the more the merrier.
Please feel free to come and say hello.
Absolutely. Feel free to come and say hello, or, you know, send Beth or I a message, or, you know, just rock up. That's fine. He's a stallion. He loves his people. You know, the more the merrier. And of course, we're very proud of him and would love to show you him at those shows.
Yeah, and just going away from those questions, one thing we haven't covered, of course, is what his terms are for this season. Obviously, they're all available on the Elite Stallions website, but he is £1,000, and that gives you unlimited attempts with the chilled semen. Because he's here, we just need the call to the office by 10 o'clock-ish in the morning, so that we can arrange the collection and the doses, and then we send them with Royal Mail on a pre-service the next day. So we can send the semen Monday through Friday for delivery, Tuesday through Saturday. Obviously, we can send a same-day delivery on a Sunday or Monday. That's no problem at all. And if the mare's not in foal at the end of the season, when we get a vet certificate, we can do a £500 refund. So that's the terms for this season for Viconte. So, Emily, I think there was a couple more questions. What were the other questions? How long is he with us? Well, there we are. There's a question for Martin.
Yeah, I think we were talking about 2 years in the beginning, Henri.
Can't have him forever, Beth. They want him back. But I think the thing with him is that these are bloodlines. I mean, especially with that mother line.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I was fortunate enough to compete in the World Championships that Poetin won, and I just remember this horse that was just like a movie star out, you know, out at the front, and to have those bloodlines available, and also the Vivaldi bloodline. You know, he's an older stallion now. You know, it's not always so easy to breed from that horse. I think it's such an asset to have that horse. You know, it would be wonderful to hold on to him. So maybe we'll wrestle you, Martin. See what we can
We'll
do.
have to play rock, paper, scissors.
We can talk about that.
And there was one other question which somebody sent through earlier. What was the other question, Emily? Is he approved for British Hanoverian? Yes, he is approved British Hanoverian. So he's approved with all Hanoverian stud books, German and British. So it's no problem to register your foals with the British Hanoverian. That's completely fine. Yeah. So, Martin, is there anything else that you would like to add about Viconte?
He is, what we said, is a really nice stallion, of course, and some really interesting bloodlines, and that's also why we used him ourselves, of course. But I'm just happy that we this year again can present such a stallion in Britain together with you, and I'm really happy about this cooperation, and we like it a lot. So I'm sure that he will have a really great future at your place the next couple of years, definitely. Maybe more, that we have to agree on.
And I think we would all, I think I speak for everybody watching, love to wish your team the best of luck at the World Cup finals.
Yes.
It's very exciting for you all, and certainly all your British fans will be cheering you on and Nana on, and whichever horse she decides to take. So we're following you too. So cheers.
Perfect.
Oh, cheers, Lorna.
Cheers. Oh, dear.
Cheers to me. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening, and we hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, then feel free to call in the office. Thank you very much, Martin, for joining us, and Anna and Beth for joining us as well, and Emily and Team Equidance for
putting this all together.
So thank you very much, and good night.
Good night.